Welcome to Sports Betting Podcast from pregame.com for the week of December 17th, 2009. I'm your host, RJ Bell. I'm joined by Marco D'Angelo, 30 years in the business, Vegas runner, genuine professional bettor here in Las Vegas. This is segment 6 of 6, big game preview, Monday Night Football, Redskins, Giants. Tell us about the line, Vegas runner.
Okay, New York Giants opened up as a 2.5-point road favorite with a total of 42. As of this morning, the Giants are up to 3 plus $1.10. So you got to lay 130 to get the 3 now with the Giants. So pretty much not even a move. And the total's up to 44 from 42.
And so what we're talking about, to speak a little abstractly for a second, is there's juice and there's point spread. You can buy half points, and then buy, eventually even buy more in some places, which is a sign. Pick'em minus 110 is the same as getting +1. Let's say at Pick'em on the money line, getting +2 at maybe minus 125, all the way up. So it's really almost like a seesaw where you could move one or the other, and if you understand the math. So really what you're saying is it seems like there's a change, but when you take the juice, in effect, it's really
still
not
2.5, exactly.
All right, so Monday Night Football, Marco, as a handicapper, and again, we're taping on Wednesday, so let's talk some key factors here. What jumps out at you?
First off, the Giants, again, in a misleading game. Last week, or 2 weeks ago against Dallas, they were on the good side of a misleading game. This time they were on the losing side of a misleading game. They outgained the Eagles last week.
Did you have the Giants by any chance?
No, I did not.
Oh, go ahead.
Had the under, though. 512 to 374 in total yards. Eli, good numbers.
Did you watch the game?
I watched the game.
Do you think, because sometimes yardage can be deceiving too, do you think the Giants outplayed Philly?
They outplayed Philly offensively, but what killed them was 4 turnovers. They made turnovers, wrong spots, and Philly capitalized on a couple big plays, one of them being a punt return. A great punt return if you saw it, unbelievable.
Macklin.
They did what you want them to do. They kicked it to the sideline. The guy tiptoed around. Instead of cutting it back to the middle, he brought it up the sideline that's where the containment was. It was a great
All right, so you think the Giants were, if you would have watched that game or especially looked at the score, it was deceiving to their disadvantage. You think the Giants play a little bit better?
I think the Giants they're playing better than their record indicates right now.
All right, so to you, one takeaway is your first look is to the Giants because you think they might be a little underrated.
Yes.
What's your first thought?
I agree. I lean to the Giants as well here. Because it's a Monday night game, it's tough to give an official opinion because a lot of things change between now and then, including the point spread, because so much pending action from Sunday falls onto Monday
Now, you
night.
guys give an official free, for those watching just the video and not hearing the whole audio podcast, you guys give one official free pick each in a prior game on Monday night. You can get that at pregame.tv. You've won 10 of 12. You've won 12 of 16.
And those right away, I'm willing to put my money down.
Yeah, if you're giving a free pick, you're batting it.
Exactly.
Here you have an early lean.
Exactly.
All right, go on.
And the Giants have simply dominated this series. Any way you look at it, they've owned Washington, and I don't see why that would change here. They played already, and in that first game, the Giants beat them 23-17. But they destroyed Washington. If it wasn't for the Giants going 0-3 in the red zone, remember, they held the ball for 38 minutes in that game.
When was this?
Early in the season.
And that's my question here. We talked about it in the prior video about the Steelers, is how good this team is, because it can be confusing. This Giants team, let's be honest now, other than the blowout, the ability to dominate a bad team, to me, doesn't make a good team.
No.
There's average teams that are able to dominate bad teams. So early in the year, everyone thought the Giants were the best team in the NFC. Clearly, we've come off of that. There's the the Eli Manning foot issue. And a lot of people believe, the insiders, he hasn't really played well since he hurt his foot. How good is this Giants team?
Here's why I think there is still value in this Giants side. When I went back to see what was the future line, because remember, coming in, like you said, Giants were expected to be good. When they were 4-0, no one was surprised. We were expecting them to be the NFC representative in the Super Bowl. Washington wasn't supposed to be good coming into this season. They are where they're supposed to be. Maybe a little worse at 4-9, but they were a 7-9 team, pretty much coming in. The line was only Giants -2. So it's pretty much the same exact thing today as it was in August.
Wow, now that's surprising. That's surprising. So doesn't that then let's think about that a second. It seems like the Giants relative, especially the way Washington's been playing lately. If you say where they were relatively preseason versus now, the Giants have fallen farther than Washington.
I agree.
So doesn't that mean the value's on Washington then?
Yeah, when you look at it from the lineup before the season being -2, and we thought the Giants were so much better, and now it's still there, and they're not as good as that.
And let's be honest, this Washington team is. The Sharps have been on him a good bit the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Strong defense. Amazingly, and let me tell you, I was not a fan of this move. When they brought in the guy, Sherman, if I'm remembering correctly, to be like the offensive consultant.
And
then I
brought him out of the bingo party.
Yeah, the bingo party. I was thinking, oh my God, this team is going in the toilet, because remember how successfully we were fading the teams that changed their OC
in the
preseason.
Right.
But my gosh, this Washington team has been playing tough every week.
Yeah.
And if the line is pretty much what it was preseason, I'm not sure if there's not strong Washington value here.
And one other point, that they're playing their best ball of the year. They're playing it for basically a lame duck coach, because there's no question when the season's done.
Is that the case?
Yeah. I mean, they took all of Zorn's power away from him with everything. There's no way that they're going to keep
Washington,
him.
all their not bad luck, but they played terribly on the road. They're 1-6. They've played 7 games already on the road. They're 1-6 there. At home, they're 3-3.
That's a great point. That's a great point. Monday night at home. Now, I remember last year, Steelers were there on Monday night, and it was all Steeler fans. So, to some degree, it doesn't seem like Washington gets super excited at home for a big nighttime game. But who's to say, like you said, in this case, they've been playing better at home. I just wonder, I mean, honestly, if you took the Giants logo off this team's helmet and look at the scores.
What would you make this number?
I mean, is this team really 6 points better on a neutral?
That's what, according to the odds makers, they are. As bettors, that's what we're supposed to do, agree or disagree with them. Not saying they're right, but that's what they have them as, 6 points on a neutral field.
One of the strengths of the Giants have been in the last 3 years has been their ability to win on the road.
Yeah, 22-7 ATS, but it was like 20-0 coming into this year or something like that.
I have them at 18-6 right now, but 3-3 this year.
That's what they're 22-7 the last 29 on the road.
ATS.
And 3 of those losses are this year. So, they
let me
were
ask you a
good of a
question.
road team.
We got 2 minutes. Let me ask you a question. A couple weeks ago, Giants were at home against Dallas getting 3. Mm-hmm. All right. So that means that they were saying that Dallas was 6 points better, all right, than the Giants. Now, we're saying the Giants are 6 points better than Washington, by this line. So that would be 12 points. So you're saying if Washington played Dallas 2 weeks ago, the line would be 15? And then clearly that seems high. My question is, has the Giants proven themselves to be, how much better or worse are the Giants than you thought they were 2 weeks ago? You're saying they played one game in which they won against Dallas. You didn't think they should have won. They lost against Philly. Maybe they should have actually won that game. But all in all, are they really much different than you thought of them 2 weeks ago?
No. The biggest question
Washington looks better
than
they did
do.
2 weeks ago.
I've catched with
this
them a
line
few times.
To me, the line is high. And when I say that means I'm gonna, my initial read's going to be the favorite.
You think the public? What's the public?
And again, just to be clear, because people who are hearing this that hasn't heard Marco, are going to say, "What the heck did that?" And the theory being that you're saying the sports books want this kind of action,
they want Washington,
and that's you want to be following what the books want.
That's what I want to see.
20 seconds.
I just want to know where I'm waiting to find out from bookmakers that I have access to, where the public's going with this game. That's going to help me evaluate public perception as far as that number.
And that's when we're able, 5 days ahead, to lay out the key points. And then as time moves on, go to the forums at pregame.com. You can just go into the forums, and there's going to be a lot of discussions about this game. We got a couple of leans, I think, right now. I know I'm leaning towards the dog. Okay, great stuff this week. We'll be back next week for the whole holiday games and everything. Remember, you can get all of our videos at pregame.tv, or you can go to iTunes and download and listen. Just search for pregame.com.